Tommy, Curran, Phil Perry, live with us from the Super Bowl in Los Angeles. Curran, what's your reaction to hearing Odell Beckham Jr. said he was very, very, very close?
Multi-tiered. It affirms what we all kind of thought the Patriots needed, that kind of receiver. It also affirms that the aggression of the Patriots front office carried into the season. It wasn't a one and done type of thing. And to me, it also affirms that maybe in 2019 or even 2018, when the Patriots offense was up against it at the wide receiver position, that they could have found something that would have helped them, Phil.
To me, this is more about looking ahead, because the fact that they didn't land Odell Beckham and that they don't have that type of athlete on the outside to beat man-to-man coverage for Mac Jones tells me that it will once again be a priority this offseason. I think they knew they needed an upgrade during the season. I think they knew Nelson Aguilar wasn't working out, and I think they'll pursue one this offseason. There are plenty available.
Yeah, Phil, it's one thing, though, to say we know we need this type of player. It's a whole nother thing to go out there and get that type of player. So how do the Patriots, and I'm not saying they have to go out and get, a guy who's just like Odell Beckham Jr., but how do they get someone that fills that role? How do they get them in New England?
Well, listen, every year it feels like the draft is loaded with receiver talent. But I would understand it if Patriots fans don't want their team to dip back into the draft to try to find that number one guy. To me, free agency might be the way to go. And guys like Davante Adams and Chris Godwin are in all likelihood going to be way too expensive. I would be looking at Allen Robinson, who's coming off his career worst year. He's 28 years old, so he should still have enough in the tank, Tom, to be a real presence on the outside. But he might be looking for a one-year kind of prove-it deal so that he can hit free agency again before he turns 30 and really make one more big contract. And even if you did want to give him a multi-year extension, he's not going to cost 20+ million the way, like, again, Davante Adams would. He'd be more along the 15-16 million a year line.
It's time for minor chalk talk, Trenni. I don't look at Odell Beckham as being an Aguilar replacement, nor do I look at Allen Robinson as being the next logical step from Odell Beckham. You and I might have different appraisals. I trust you, but I'm thinking that that is affirmation that they're looking for those inside receivers. And Trenni, I'll let Phil on that, but everybody else is fishing in the same pond, and they keep pulling out their Deebo Samuels and their Hunter Renfros. Keep your stick in the water if you're the Patriots.
Listen, that's the most cost-effective way to do it, and there are plenty of boundary types. Listen, I say Odell Beckham is a boundary type because that's what he was in Cleveland. It's what he was in New York. It's what he's doing right now for the Rams.
He can be inside.
He can be inside, as can Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson played about a fifth of his snaps in the slot. Those guys are versatile enough, athletic enough to really be effective wherever you need him to be. I just think Mac Jones needs somebody. This Patriots offense as a whole needs somebody on the outside that defenses have to respect so that they can't come down and crash the line of scrimmage on first and second down because they know the Patriots are trying to run the football. That's what the Bills did. It's what they did early in that playoff game. They teed off against the run. If you have a legitimate presence on the outside who is a threat, it forces defenses to play a little bit softer, and then you can be the run team, the run first, the run heavy team that you want to be.
My geometry is different, Trenni. We can talk about this as the offseason progresses. It's the underneath guy.